Hi guys, thanks for joining my channel. This is Angie from Germany. Namaste, Namaskar, Namaskaram, Sat Shri Akal, Vanakam, Namaskara. Today I got a request of 11 proofs India is not like any other country. Yeah? Sure, it is not, definitely. I have not seen this trailer, this request, it is for me a surprise. What a other foreigner will say about your country and how they make it. Because I have seen other countries, I'm not a backpacker, but I like to go here, there, abroad, and I have seen several times India a part of. So let us enjoy together, and I'm really interesting of my own reaction in this way. Okay, let us enjoy.
Hey everybody, simple question for you. Who doesn't love travel? Well, I sure do, and I've been to a lot of different
Okay.
countries. But there's one that will stick with me forever, India. Like I said, I'm pretty well traveled. I like to go abroad at least once a year, so I've got a lot of trips under my belt. But when a friend told me that I just have to see India, well, that's exactly what I did. I went in September, the last month of the summer monsoon.
Huh.
It was pretty dry and sunny, but with short rains here and there. The perfect weather for a traveler, if you ask me. Being the confident
I
and
was also
well-experienced
in
globetrotter
September
that I
in
am, I went there
India,
prepared, and I
as it
thought I
was
was
really
ready for
rainy
anything.
time.
Boy, was I
Right.
wrong. The colors, the contrasts, the pace, the people, everything hit me like a ton of bricks, and didn't let go even when I was already back home. As soon as I stepped out of the airport, I felt dizzy. It could have been the heat, the jet lag, or the hunger in my belly. I assumed it was the latter, so I decided to head out for some authentic Indian food as soon as I'd throw my bags in my hotel room. Now, the food there deserves a big shout out. First of all, Indians eat very
Huh.
little meat. In fact, they have the lowest meat consumption per person in the world. Most of their dishes are vegetarian, and meat is replaced with soy meat. This is mostly because 80% of the population is Hindu. Probably like you, I'd always heard that Hinduism requires a strictly
Oh,
vegetarian
dal.
diet, but that's not the case. It's just because they believe not eating meat minimizes the hurt they bring to other living beings. That's definitely one of the things I learned during my travels, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Good thing.
Another thing about food in India is that it's all heavily spiced. That comes as no surprise, really, since India is well known across the world as the biggest spice producer and exporter. But there's one region that stands out exclusively in this regard, the state of Kashmir. It's home to the most valuable spice ever, saffron. Sure, this flower isn't unique to India. It also grows in Iran and Spain. Kashmir, however, produces the highest quality and the most expensive saffron in the world. The town of Pampur is literally built around saffron fields. There are actually 3 varieties cultivated there. There's Mongra, the most expensive one, that costs about $1,600 a
Wow.
pound. Then you've got Lacha, which, interesting enough, is less pricey at $1,000 per pound. Yet saffron farmers say it's the purest. And finally, there's Zarda. It's the cheapest, but only compared to other varieties, because $250 a pound
Cheapest.
isn't exactly what I call cheap.
That is for
Anyway,
me pricey
India's
as well.
spice game is definitely on point. So, I found a good place to eat, and as soon as I saw the menu, I remembered that Indian is also famous for its large variety of teas, or as the locals call it,
I love
chai.
chai.
You should see the sheer number of options. I never thought there could be that many types of tea. If you're a tea drinker, I'm sure you know Darjeeling and
Ah.
Assam. But have you ever heard of Karnataka or Kangra? Does Munnar ring a bell? I don't blame you. I had no idea
I
that
have
these
no
kinds
idea
exist
as
either.
well.
And those are just the tea-producing regions. There's even more once you get into the types of chai by adding particular spices and herbs. Take, for example,
Tea spices,
masala
I know.
chai, which is made with cinnamon, ginger, cloves,
Huh.
and herbs. I personally fell in love with butter tea. It's so thick and creamy.
tea?
I could drink it by the gallon. Basically, you take tea leaves, some butter, hot water, and salt. Mix it
Butter
all
and
up and
salt?
thank me later. With a full belly and
I never
plenty of
tried.
chai pumping through
I
my
have no
veins,
idea.
I was ready for some sightseeing.
Wow.
I landed in New Delhi, so I spent the rest of the day walking around and taking in all the sights. Whenever I go abroad, I like to carry a little phrase book in the local language. Well, if you ever find yourself
That
in
will
India,
not work
you're
in
gonna need a
India.
really big book
Phrase
because there are
book.
actually 22 officially recognized languages there. English is among them, so I was okay just sticking to that. But those 22 official languages are just a drop in the huge linguistic ocean of the country. By different accounts, there are from 122 to 300 major languages spoken in India, as well as up to 1,600 lesser-known ones. Basically, if you travel from one town to another, you'll hear people talking a different language. And if you happen to go to another state, you can forget everything you might have learned in your previous location. How they manage to communicate with each other is still beyond me.
Funny.
New Delhi was awesome. I wish I could talk more about it, but I had a lot to see. I did find time to take a train up to Amritsar and see the Golden Temple. How do I even begin to describe it? The whole thing is covered in gold and sits in the middle of a huge pool of water. This is where the tradition of langar takes place. Langar is a vegetarian meal that's given to any and everyone who comes to the temple, regardless of their background or beliefs. Just imagine, the Golden Temple provides a free meal to over 50,000 people a day. And on special occasions, it can feed up to 200,000. I got a free meal too, and it was really delicious. You can volunteer there as well. I did just that because I was in so much awe about the place, I didn't want to leave. What I actually regret is that I didn't get to see the Kumbh Mela in action. It's one of the greatest celebrations of India, and apparently it's a sight to behold. In 2011, so many pilgrims gathered in one place that the whole congregation of 75 million people was even visible from space.
Wow.
This year, it's taking place from January until early March, so if you've seen it with your own eyes, just know that I'm so jealous. In fact, whatever India does, it does it on a huge scale. For example, it has the largest number of post offices in the world. Wherever you go, you'll stumble upon one literally on every corner. The irony of this is that it doesn't really help the situation with delivery times. One Indian guy told me it's totally normal to wait for your package to be delivered in 2 weeks' time, even if it was sent from a nearby town. But hey, patience is a virtue. But it doesn't stop there. India places third in terms of the number of Guinness World Record holders. The world's fastest nose typer, the most expensive wedding ever held, and the most selfies taken together are just a few of the bizarre world records held in this country. What else? The largest railroad network in the world? Check. Well, almost, since the United States does technically have more. But anyway, India has built over 3.5 million miles of railroads, which, considering the smaller size of the country, still means easier
British Empire
transit
makes
within
it so
and
much,
between different locations. With that in mind, it shouldn't really be a huge surprise that Indian Railways is also the largest employer in the world. It has over 1 million employees. And considering the country's extensive railway network, these people are scattered throughout India, from the smallest villages to the biggest cities. The number of jobs grows every year, so it looks like you could always get a job there if you're looking for employment in India. Anyway, what can I say about my final impressions? I was blown away, and I seriously didn't want to leave this fascinating place. Visiting it was like going to a whole new world for me. I tried to get as many souvenirs as I could, but I almost forgot one important thing. If you ever go there, by the way, you'd better remember it too. No one is allowed to take India's national currency in or out of the country. It's actually against the law, so make sure you change your money before you cross the border. I almost made this mistake, but a friendly local told me to exchange my rupees at the airport, and off I went, headed back home with my suitcase full of exotic stuff and my head pulsing with impressions. Can you tell me anything else about India that I missed? I'm definitely going to go back, so leave me some recommendations down in the comments too. And if you enjoyed hearing my story, then give this video a like, share it with your friends, and hit the subscribe button to join me on
So he explain only a small part because I do not know how long he was abroad on his trip to India and which part in this way. So maybe only Delhi and around Amritsar, Golden Temple, and this area he has seen, but it doesn't seem that he goes to Chennai, Kerala, or something like this. But he knows that there are so much other different kind of languages, for sure, so much different kind of dialects. Um, yeah, I know it very well. Then, as I was in different kind of places, that I understand nothing when other group of Indian people next to me, and I do not understand one word. So, or I asked my friend, my family, uh, they speak Hindi, and I asked what they tell because there was so much laughing or about something about that, and they say I do not understand, or they do not understand it. So, and that's why I really know that there are so much languages because the next group nearby of you can always be speak another language, but that can be happen in Europe as well. So it doesn't mean that when we are here in Germany that all people around us speak German. For sure, we have some dialects, but mostly of tourists or people who come from other countries. Europe is not as so much small, so there can be people speak Farsi, Turkish, Polish, Russian, Spanish, French, Italian, um, Scandinavian languages. So you stand here in the middle of Germany and they all around speak so much kind of different languages. And when we want to talk together, by luck, they speak a bit German or we speak all together English. And when you are not can speak English, then you got a problem here. Definitely, then you have a problem here because then only the sign language will help in this way. But it works always in any case, for sure. When we wanted to buy something, we can talk by mouse and with our hands, so that is easy. Okay, anything else? Definitely tea. He is right. I also know only your Shai tea from Assam and Darjeeling. The others I didn't know, I didn't heard about it. And I love chai tea boiled in the morning with milk, water, some spices, cardamom and ginger. So in this way, definitely. But the others I do not know. And never I drank a butter tea. Wow, with salt. Okay. And other things. I know that in Amritsar is a golden temple and they feed the people there, and that you come anytime, everybody, and got a free meal. And that is really special. So that is definitely special for India. And it's precious, it's fantastic, and for sure we can make our shirt up and help as volunteer because they always need laugh like helping hands. So when we want to work, when we want to enjoy, when we want to give help to others and make food together in this big pans and whatever, so it is for sure it's an adventure, definitely an adventure. And why not, why not? So what else? I have heard about the currency for sure, that we cannot put it in, bring it inside or outside. It's in most countries that we cannot buy rupees first and bring it to your country or bring it out again. But in my opinion, much people do it, and so I have always some small for people who help me. I cannot give everyone dollar or euros, so small I have always, and that is a normal thing, and I'm fine with that, and I'm sure that is okay in this way. Um, so that was his adventure. He is good that he know English and can talk it there, and a small book of small sentence was not really helpful to him because they all speak other dialects. It's really funny, um, for sure. Um, he has to come again and again to learn more about India, as myself as well. And it was interesting, really interesting. And for sure, I have so much other things to explain what I made in India, how are my experience there. My experience is on a two-wheeler from here to there. It's completely different, and not only by food or train or what he enjoyed, I do not know. And the food, in any case, the food is the most delicious thing I have ever had. In every part, it is tasty from the street, in the family, homemade, because I got so much invitation, and I really, really love it. And in this way, it's a good thing to get a belly, but it's a good belly for bad times. Then we are good prepared for bad times. I hope it will not come bad times in this way. But your food is perfect, and I love hot food. Your spicy food. I'm really good trained, and when I cry, it's only sometimes of the spices, and but when I have water, everything is fine. So I'm happy when you are not changed the food because of me, that you are try to make it in European way. When you make it in your way, I'm fine because I have to learn your food. You have not to make it in my way. Definitely not, because your food, how it is perfect, delicious, and first class, definitely. So um, that's for now all. That is what he was thinking about India, and I have so much more, and I will tell more and more by time in my videos. So come again, enjoy with me what was my experiences, and I love to tell more and more, definitely. So for now, that it is. Subscribe my channel, come over to Twitter and Instagram for a notification, press a bell icon, and leave a comment if you have more of these things, of this stuff. I would love to talk about it and give a new video request for sure. So stay safe, take care, bye for now, yours Angie.